Hey, Donald Miller here. How you guys doing? So it's been a little bit since I made a video. It's the dog days of summer. So we're doing the best we can to keep up with workflow, as well as staying healthy, staying hydrated. It's muggy, it's humid. So I did have a request to make a video on how to preserve your body through this. And it's definitely in the early stages of my apprenticeship that I learned about diet. And the sooner you learn about diet, it almost like is a game changer, because you start changing other aspects of your training and your experience to better suit your career. So diet was a big change for me. And, as far as like your body's concerned, I blew out both of my knees by the time I was 22. And it was just from bad footwear. And I learned a valuable lesson. Luckily, I only had to have one scoped. So I didn't really have a tear, okay? I had a torn meniscus, a torn lateral meniscus. So they went in and scoped it, and I think the downtime was about 3 weeks. So after that, that's when I started taking care of myself a lot more. And actually, I found some hints from guys that were in their late 40s, early 50s, how they were counteracting arthritis. And guys would do these exercises in the morning around their tool belt or their station. And like some of the guys were doing squats, almost like a slow motion jumping jack, and just kind of stretching their body out. And they would do about 10 to 15 of them. And another guy was drinking water when he was doing it, and water seemed to be a major key to a lot of these guys. So I started realizing that your water intake is hugely important if you're planning on staying healthy, if you have back problems, if you have knee problems. Water intake is the first go-to for me if I start feeling anything. Like right now, even my right leg is bothering me, and I can tell you I haven't had a bottle of water today. So I know I'm going to need to drink water, because if I drink a bottle of water, usually that knee problem, that'll vanish. In the beginning of the trade, I was able to change my diet. Okay, so in my early 20s, I'm sucking down cheesesteaks and everything else in between. And yeah, your afternoon goes to crap. Like you can look at your productivity level and your motivation, and it's just rough. It's hard to do anything. So I started eating a breakfast, and not a huge breakfast, just like a cup of oatmeal. And the cup of oatmeal will get me to lunch, or it doesn't, anything in the morning. Okay, it could be, I don't know about donuts, but something that can sustain you until lunch, and then your lunch doesn't have to be so big. The one thing I used to do was salads. When I was putting in 12-hour days, a chicken salad. So I would get like a garden salad, and I would have roasted chicken put on the top of it. And if I was doing like 5 12-hour days, that was my lunch. And it was awesome. And I haven't been out in the field in a while, so I still eat a balanced lunch today. But when I'm in the field, I do not have I have to make sure it's light, especially in the summertime, because you start eating carbohydrates like these big chicken sandwich, like cheesesteaks or whatever, and after lunch you try to get back to work, and it's like you're hitting a brick wall. So I stopped doing that. The light lunches and water again. Like, even if you like your juice or your sodas, as long as you're keeping up with water, you don't get fatigued. If you don't drink water and you're putting all this crap in your system, you're bottoming out at 2 or 3 o'clock. And if the job's staying open to 5, it becomes a miserable experience. So don't get mad at the job, okay? Start changing your diet so you're in a better mood. And that was like the biggest thing halfway through my 20s, was a shift in how I thought about things. Instead of complaining about working till 5 o'clock, you know, I embraced it and I changed my diet, and all of a sudden I started enjoying it. And the moment you start enjoying longer jobs, you can take on whatever jobs you want and forget about the guys that say, what is the dumbest expression? I don't live to work, I work to live, or one of like something stupid like that. And I'm sure they know it like right off the top of their head. Newsflash. If you put in the time, you're going to be compensated for the time, and then your life outside of work is improved. And my children will contest to that. They see me every weekend, but during the week, you know, if there's a big job, they're not going to see me. They're okay with it. And, you know, they have a better lifestyle because of that. So that mentality shift in my mid-20s really helped me in my 30s. And, you know, getting into this trade, I'm in my 40s now, okay? And I can tell you, as far as how I take care of myself, I finally started taking a daily vitamin. I did not have to take a daily vitamins until I hit 40. I am still working on my diet. I still like cheesesteaks from time to time, but I know how to fix my diet. So if I'm going onto a site, I know what diet I need to have so I can put 12-hour days in. All right, I know what I need. I know how much sleep I need. I know what time I need to get up in the morning. I know the routines I need to get into and the habits I need to get into to have a productive job. And learning that skill, you'll never forget it. It's a valuable skill to have, because not all the time do you need it. There's times I've done, you know, 20 weeks straight without going over 40 hours, and then a couple big jobs come along, but they're going to require 12.5-hour days. Okay, well, a week before we get into that job, maybe even 2 or 3 weeks before, I'm going to start shifting my diet. I'm changing my sleep habits. I'm changing my eating habits, because it's going to make for a better job. I like to enjoy myself on jobs. I like wearing proper, like I have a very nice tool belt, okay? Actually, I just replaced my tool belt, first time in about 5 years. I bought an Occidental tool belt, so we'll see how it is. I already like it. I like the suspenders. But I like job sites. I like working, so when I'm putting my tool belt on, I don't want to feel like crap because of what I eat. All right, so diet plays a huge role in this trade. And by all means, if you're doing attic work in the summertime, so to the people that are doing this, rock on. I was one of you at one time, all right? And word of advice, don't turn your air conditioner on in the car on your way to work, all right? You want to acclimate yourself to the temperature before the sun comes up. If you can get your body acclimated to the temperature of the environment before the sun comes up, as the temperature increases, it's not as bad. So then if you go into attics, you can easily slam down 2 liters of water, get up into the attic, bring 2 more liters up with you. You're not going to have to go to the bathroom. Get up into the attic, just hang out for 10 minutes. Let that heat and your body get used to each other. And within 10 minutes, you'll be fine. Your body will get used to it. Drink one of the bottles of water, get started working. Don't come out of that attic. If you come out of that attic, you'll feel the heat. If you stay up there, your body will get used to it. As long as you're drinking water, you can stay up there all day and the heat won't bother you. I used to be up in attics for 8 hours we didn't do 8, we did 6s. So in the summertime, we would do 6-hour shifts in the attic. We would get paid for 8. And I would drink roughly a gallon. I want to say a gallon and a half when I was up there. But I never had to go to the bathroom because you're sweating it out the whole time. But you feel, at the end of the day, it's a refreshing feeling coming out of that attic. But the day's done. Going back and forth, that's a nightmare. You come down out of the attic, it's nice and cool, but then you go back up, it's like hitting a brick wall. You come back down. So what I would like to do is get everything I needed before I started my job, and then I would go up with my tool bag, bring everything up, and try not to come down. One, you don't waste any time up and down, up and down. So when you're up there, just get it done. And that habit, I carried that along to other job sites where if I was up on like the 3rd floor, I don't want to go up and down. Give me everything I need for like 2 to 3 hours. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to put the radio on and you're not going to see me. And I'm just going to bang out the work. I'm going to get into a nice rhythm. I don't accept phone calls. So when I was up there for 3 hours, I didn't want phone calls. I didn't want text messages. Well, there wasn't really, when I was doing this kind of work, cell phones were just coming about. So I didn't really have to worry about people calling me. But I didn't want people calling me. When I start working and I get into a nice rhythm, a phone call just breaks me out of that rhythm and now I have to get back into it. So typically I would get all my tools together, go wherever I need to go, and get into my rhythm and leave me alone. I'm having a good time. So, a couple tips there. But staying hydrated is probably like staying hydrated, having a decent diet, knowing when you need vitamins. If you need vitamins, take them. But for the most part, water is huge. And I'm just now in my 40s and I'm starting to take like omegas. So I'm taking some omegas, I'm taking some zinc, and I'm taking like a 40+ male multi-day. So I hope that helps. All right. Your mentality is probably, if you're early in this trade, be careful of your sarcasm. Be careful of your mentality of how you view things. You can see some people that have a piss poor attitude based on some of the comments on some of these videos. That mentality is going to point the direction of your career. So if you have a crappy mentality, you're not going to see the benefits of this career as much as you should. Where if you have a positive attitude and you approach this career correctly, sky's the limit and you're going to go amazing places. God bless. Enjoy your Thursday. Oh, it's August 11th. Enjoy the dog days, guys.